we are just about to do the Italian Grand Prix, so we will race that, and then I will give you a bit of a fuller summary of where we're up to with the season and how it's going. As you can see, Sophia's in 5th on the grid. Norris is in pole. She is 5th. Really, she qualified in about 8th, but we're at the point where people are starting to do parts changes, so she jumped a couple of places because of that. So that's why she's up there. I don't think I've set any of this up yet. No, I haven't. So strategies for Italian Grand Prix, which is Monza. Let's see if we can. Yeah, we can definitely get away with that. So the good thing is she has now, her smoothness is now at a level where she only just about under tracks the predicted lines. So, which is great news, because it does mean we can now generally do her on most good strategies. I'm going to move this back a bit, and I'm going to do that, because we're going to probably then start her on aggressive pace. Now, could we get away with that? We couldn't run her on that. We could probably run Norris on that. It would be tight, but we could do it. I'm not sure we should, but we could. I feel like that's the better strategy. Try and get a gap. Pit, get it back, pit again. The only thing that's worth noting is the Rebels have really caught up with us as cars. So we are beyond the point of nice, easy 20, 40 second leads now. Like, we've come slightly close to not winning some races with Lando. I don't know. What do you think, chat? Do we risk going for one stop, or do we go with the sensible version of 2 and gun the tyres? I feel like we go 2. Like, allegedly, that's a 9 seconds quicker. What would Kitten do? Well, Kitten has now, as of this morning, gone off to Cats Protection Central Veterinary Services. So, send your good thoughts to Kitty. Hopefully, they give her a clean bill of health and they can help her with her snot problem. And, doubly hopefully, they agree to let us adopt her, if they remember. One Stop probably gambles on a safety car. Yeah. I mean, that's effectively what you're doing there. And you can run that. The main issue with that is we wouldn't be able to run aggressive at the start. We just wouldn't. I'm going to go with the 2-stop. I think we're going to go 2-stop. We're going to run him hard on tyres to begin with. And we're going to go from softs for as long as we can. I think that's the thing, is I wouldn't get the gap for DRS, not with the way the Rebels are flying now. Like, they are legit flying now. And Norris is on his last, theoretically his last engine. Now, we might be able to change that, because they have just dropped the 1-point update, and allegedly what the 1-point update, 1.8 update does is restore predictive. It means your predicted levels will actually be correct now for how close you are to the cost cap. So I can stop guessing and start min-maxing it again, but we will see. Let's go with the 2-stop. We'll go 2-stop. We will overfuel him slightly. We'll run Rich at the start. She'll drop back. I'm fully expecting her to drop back, but Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go, shall we, chat? To Monza.
All 10 teams are now getting set up as the drivers prepare to face the 53 laps.
And I'm getting echo. Are you guys getting echo?
Now I wonder, will things be going Lando Norris's way in this race?
They're on pole, and it's well deserved. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
Because that's going to annoy the piss out of me for most of the game.
Here, your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, joy. Just me for echo, then. That's fun.
Here we go.
Thanks, OBS.
Italian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Right. Norris goes on to high overtake aggression. I have actually been using that slightly on Sophia now, because she is getting quite good at overtakes. But we're not going to do it here. Let's see how she gets on. She's had a couple of race incidents. So we've had a few run wides. We've had one crash, which is much, much better. So now watch her absolutely tank it out of this race at the start, given that we always seem to have at least one crash on stream. Right, we held the lead. Go Norris, go, go, go. Let the Red Bull and the Aston Martin fight. Tsunoda, if you could massively take out Leclerc, I'd be grateful. Well, this might work out for us because Verstappen didn't get up there. What's he on? Right, so they're all on softs, apart from Tsunoda is on mediums. So they will either be doing, I reckon they'll be doing soft hard. I think they might go one stop. I think we'll be the only ones doing 2 stops. Apart from maybe Tsunoda. But you can see already that we just don't pull away as much as we used to. Those Red Bulls have really come on a lot. I think part of it is we haven't had a massive reset yet of the parts. So the actual gains that you get now from research are pretty minimal. And that means that because the gains are minimal, our research strategy of hitting research early in the season is not keeping us as far ahead as it was. I think as part of the 1.8 update, they have just tried to rework research again, so I'll be interested to see if that has an impact next season. It's going to be a bit late for now, I think. Yeah, we're not going to gap him, he's still pushing.
So we have lower faction at the moment.
Let's go neutral. Might be able to gap him. No, he's got DRS now. Unless Verstappen screws with him. Although if we and Leclerc can gap Verstappen, I'd be equally happy. There we go. There's the standard Florsch crash that introduces the stream.
It's been quite a crash.
She never does it another time. Only on stream. No damage though by the look of it, so that's alright. No, she must be damaged. She's right at the back.
Here's the replay. Right, we're down at turn 5. The gap opens up for them.
Stalled it on a crash. Just, you know, just sat there. Chilling. Right, well. We got that out of the way. That's the important thing. We got out of the way early on stream.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Yeah, copy.
Just to confirm it's thermal dead.
Yeah, confirm.
Alright, his tyres are warming up now. They've got to stop pushing at some point. Because they are pushing. The most we're getting in a gap is about 6 seconds. 0.6 of a second, rather. Right, I think we stretch our tyres and go one stop.
Just need to make sure we keep these tyres in good nick.
There's like zero reason not to at least try it now. We'll run them down to 1.15. I mean, we've gapped Stroll. Right, if we're running it down to one stop, we need to change strategies. YOLO. Reside G 1995, thank you for the follow. Big heavy thunder outside. Hopefully Napoleon gets himself in soon. Right, I think we go undercut. They're going to be, I reckon they're doing one stops, and I reckon their one stops are going to be to hards. Probably. I suspect. Let's pit for mediums now.
It's the turn 4. We have debris.
Did you, Carlos? Carlos! That wasn't very nice, was it? He got stuck on the way over.
It's not going the way the team had hoped.
Yeah, bonk indeed. We really need that bonk. Right, look. Is he still stuck? You managed to get back on track. He's back on track. Well done, lads. Well done.
Okay.
Right, are we going to come out in front of Gasly? I suspect maybe. No, Gasly's going to get out first. Okay, that's fine. We can get back from that. Yeah, the rejoining track is so broken. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Out in 11th. Jesus. We'll get DRS though, so. This may not be our greatest race, you know. We're going to leave him on aggressive for now. We will push him down onto deploy.
Press and hold the overtake.
She's tracking back, so I think we'll be alright. Norris just flying up the order.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I think we did pull off the undercut. Now, what we want to see is, are they all coming out on hards? Yeah, they're coming out on hards, so they're doing one stop. So I do think this was the right call. If she blows a tyre, she blows a tyre, but It was the low-level gamble. Doesn't RB's engine have significantly more power output? It does, but it also has much worse engine like power curve off. So basically, once you hit 85 durability, you're already into new engine territory. We're on horsey engines, and I have to say, I do think that's worked out for us this season. Right, Norris is going to fly through this. Let's watch Norris for a bit. Get out of the way, Piastri. Let the real drivers through. Piastri? Fuck off.
Not easy to overtake.
Just stay focused.
Just stay focused, it's Piastri. DRS the fucker. We've got more efficient DRS. This is the problem, is when you get stuck behind like two at once, it can really slow you down. Did we just get bonked? He tried to bonk us. Like, they're just going to run side by side for so long and then you just can't get past. This might actually cost us the race. Norris and Piastri having a set to at Monza, accent realism, yeah. But I'm actually going to reduce him on aggressive because he's not going to get any benefit out of this. Right, are you close to being able? Yeah, you're getting there. That's fine. Right, that's it. You've got him. There you go. You've got Sonoda. Oh, fucking hell. There's some atrocious fucking driving going on here.
Overtaking is very difficult.
Or we could just blitz everyone in one go.
Crack on.
Yeah, I do think it overtakes better when you've got the dots on.
Now we're approaching turn 2. They decide to give it a go. And Lando says, well, thank you very much.
That said, I think Piastri pitted, which helped us. I do think that might cost us the race. But we'll see. Now we're getting close to pop or stop. She just suddenly dropped to 24. Did she just go wide?
And updates are sometimes. What are they like?
Yeah, she locked up. Okay, I think we're going to have to pit for hards. Go to hards. Key thing is finishing for the skills boost, so... What we can do is go aggressive and conserve for a while. Let's get our fuel down. Right, we are building a gap on Verstappen. We might get away with this. Yeah, her confidence would have gone, so we don't really want her overtaking people. Get down to 0.5 and then we'll speed her up again. I'm going to say go aggressive. Kind of want to stay out on these tyres as long as we're increasing the gap over Verstappen. But it is... yeah, it's still going up. Overall. Because we can always run him long and get more out of the softs. Now, we should come out 5th, I think, if we pitted now. Right, we're going now. Let's see how we do. Hopefully we've left ourselves enough time. We do need her to ease off on the tyres. This is ours. I'm reasonably confident it is. I'm not going to guarantee it though. I think we managed to get enough time back. We got stuck in traffic for way too long.
Let's have a look at the action. It's all at the final corner. The opportunity begging to be taken. And it moves up a place into 19th.
Well done, Soph. Piastri's never forgiven us for firing him. Let's be honest.
Lando for lane.
He's never forgiven us for firing. Right. Let's see where we come out.
White line on the exit.
I reckon 5th. Out in 3rd. We got this. We got this. We got this if we're out in 3rd. Because they ain't pitting again. Nice. Hello. How you doing, Napoleon? Enjoying being back in the office? Watching the lightning? They are DRSing each other, which is mildly annoying, but we'll get that back. We'll drop down to aggressive on... Tempted to drop the fuel use now. No, let's blitz past Verstappen first. The good news is he's not going to get DRS off of Leclerc. So we want to gap him.
But this is what happened. Now the focus is on Lando Norris here. It's there for the taking.
See you, Max.
And we've got a new race leader.
Don't forget to write. Come on, DRS gap.
For info, we are fuel limited.
Conserve. Aggressive. Deploy.
Okay, increase and lift off, please. Press and hold the overtake.
And hope we can get the fuel back in time.
We are out of DRS.
Obviously, that's turn 1.
Oh, you crashed? Bonk!
Okay, 2 more laps.
It's going to be close. We might actually run out of fuel right on the line here.
Let's try to get the deck down on this set.
Which will be funny. Yeah, we did.
Over the finish line and today's winner.
Not our finest race. Not our finest race. I think we will call that a bad day for McLaren. Get Sophie to push him over. Yeah, give him a nudge, Soph. To be fair, that's his first DNF of the season. What happened? We pushed too much on fuel to just try and recover from the Piastri being stuck behind Piastri. With the benefit of hindsight, we didn't need to push quite as much on it. We had a decent lead, but you just don't know that going into the pits. So
And no doubt,
that's probably cost us our chance at the constructors, but whatever. We only need to get second this year, so. Welcome to the stream again, Uncle Bod. Good to see you. We're still on for the fastest pit stop champions. Yeah, I mean, look, technically she finished 2 places higher. It's the first time we've not hit one of our bonuses, which is mildly annoying, but there we go. It's not like we're short on cash. Right. First things first, let's sort the car and then we'll talk through some stuff. So, suspension, back onto that. Now, has the new patch fixed what I hope it's fixed? Yes, it has. Thank God. We have 6.5 million left on the cost cap. So that's enough for one burst of research on everything. Not enough to get Lando a new engine. But probably enough to get Sophie a new gearbox if she needs one, but I think we'll be alright. How many races we got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She'll be alright. She'll be alright. We can blow it all on research. Stats. So, Sophie is now a 75. She now does not have anything in the 60s. Braking and reactions are now 70, accuracy 77, control 77, smoothness 74. Her adaptability is excellent, her defending is good, her overtaking is okay. She is now in the range of okay. I kind of consider 70 and above. 75-ish and above is okay. 80 to 85 is good. 85 and above is excellent. So I'd say she's weakest still on braking and reactions. She's almost into the okay range on everything else. And she's actually in the good range, well into the good range on some things. Like, annoyingly, that is like the least useful thing. And I do think that one of the game's flaws is it's a bit too random in what it levels you up at, even with the development focuses set. Because adaptability really isn't that good. But it still throws points in it. It's like, I wouldn't want that. Right, the other thing you've got to decide, chat. Smiley Pietro here is coming to the end of his contract. Now, realistically, we've got Lando for another 3 years. In 3 years, we are going to want another driver in that seat. Realistically, we're going to want another driver in that seat. Because I think it'd be more fun to let Lando go. Because I think 3 years, maybe, is the point at which Sophia is going to have her title shot. Because after that, she's going to really not pick up new skills. So in 3 years, I think she's going to be roughly as good as she's going to be. So we will want to drop Lando in that at the end of his contract and promote someone through. That means we need to get a reserve driver who in 3 years we can offer a good contract. And we're probably going to want to start getting that reserve driver to drive practices instead of Lando. So in terms of drivers, I have been doing some scouting. So what we really want to be looking at, hey look, new pictures, is highly rated drivers that are young and are not currently in F1. Reese G, thank you very much for your tier subscription. Enjoy your murder ducks and things. I need to get some F1 emotes made. We definitely need a bonk emote. And it might just look like Max Verstappen's face. Or maybe that should just be the Max emote. So, drivers that we can probably consider. Stanech, I think, is a bit old. Staniek? I don't know how you do the E thing. Hopefully Cecilia might. Well, if she comes back, I think we want someone who is a max age of 23. Which puts us down. We could get ourselves a Montoya. We could get ourselves a Montoya, but he is on an average development rate. I quite like the look of Nikola Solov. Average development rate again, but that bit younger. Bulgarian. We've also got Gabriel Mini, but he does have very silly hair. And I do think we have to consider hair as part of this. Or we're looking, I think, maybe Zach O'Sullivan. Or we get a Mansell. Now, in stats terms, he's got quite good stats in what we want him. He's not great in cornering. His overtaking is shocking. Those ears on Mansell. Yeah, I know. His overtaking is shocking. It's very biased towards control and smoothness, but that's not necessarily a bad thing for us. So I'd say, let's poll this. I'm going to poll it for you. And remember, they might not accept going for our reserve for 3 years, but I think we're going to try. So your choices are Christian Mansell, who else do we have? We could probably go Zach O'Sullivan. So his well, we don't know his performance stats. So that maybe rules him out because I haven't scouted him, which I do apologize for, is my fault. We could go Oliver Girth. He's, again, pretty decent all round, to be honest. His reactions are terrible and his smoothness terrible, but we could work on that. So I'd say Oliver Girth from Germany is another option for you. So we could go full German. That would be a full German lineup because Sophia's German. So you can imagine how well that would go down in Germany. So that's something to think about in roleplay terms. Like, imagine what our marketing potential would be in Germany if we did this. But we could go with a Bulgarian. We could go Solov. He is arguably the most all-rounder of them. His overtaking is low, but actually he's a really good all-rounder. I mean, his accuracy is huge, but I mean, that's like not that great for us. But he is he's arguably, I think, the best all-rounder. That's Nicholas Solov. Or, finally, I mean, Bulgaria, I'm not sure. Is there a lot of marketing potential in Bulgaria? Maybe. Or, we go with another name. We go with Sebastian Montoya. Good stats again, mostly all round. Weak on overtaking, weak on reactions. Not a huge problem for us. We could work around that relatively easily, remembering that he's there to back Sophia up mostly. And he is a Montoya. You know that if we do that, we are going to be fucking loved in Colombia. Absolutely loved in Colombia. So let's go for a 5-minute poll on that. Those are your options, chat. That poll is now up. So enough F3 this year to not disagree with Mansel's overtaking stat. I really need to start watching F3. When I was in Portugal, I got massively... I was just mainlining F1 podcasts again. And I was like, you know what? I really need to get into F2 and F3. I have to be somewhat careful to not get a driver who would be better than Sophia. It's entirely possible that they will be at least her equal by that point. But that's why I want to drop Lando. Because I don't think it'd be fair to have Lando trying to play backup for her. I think it's better that we let Lando go and let him fly free and find another team. It would also mean that we can spend, you know, we can just... I think it just thematically works better if we go with pairing her with another driver. So basically, get your polling in, because that's the decision we've got to make. Like, I think she's going to cap out. I think we need her to be rank at least 82 or 83 to have a shot at the title. But we'll see. Now, when does the next ATR... All right, we're on the next ATR period. I think we're in the final ATR period, aren't we? Apparently the sponsors had a good time. I'm surprised. Yeah, so our control's gone up to 77. Her braking's gone up since we got that report as well, because her braking's now 70. Lando's still getting a little bit better. My argument for Solov is that he's young enough that he can anchor us for the late Sophia period and enable us to train up another woman driver. That is true. We can roleplay that we're sending him to IndyCar or FE, I guess. Yeah, maybe. Let's say that Lando's going to have his Mansell year. He's going to have this, fuck this, I'm going to go win Indy. Yeah. Because he will... Chances are he will have won by then at least 4 world championships. So it'll be like Anne Lando wept for he had no more worlds to conquer. He's going to have about, like, 70 race wins, hopefully, by that point. Yeah, go Triple Crown. And welcome to the chat, little puppy. I reckon that the moment we started filtering in that race, our media team got the sponsors beyond drunk and then just lied to them about the result. Chance of mistake slightly lower. Tiny pit time increase. Well, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Yeah, how about we just go balanced? That's not what balanced was telling me a minute ago. How do we get a 14% chance of increase in mistakes by just telling them to chill a bit? I feel like just letting them do fuck all seems to be the actual best approach here. like, take a month off, lads. Because it's just going to drop their fatigue right down. Like, ironically, fatigue reduction is going to fatigue them more. I feel like we're going for a... Yeah, lads, go full Garfield for a month. Like, just go sit at home and eat lasagna. The Fondle! 33 months. That's a long time to be sabbed. Yeah, like, we just told them to go sit at home and eat lasagna for a month. Just turn up on race days, lads. Don't forget to turn up on race days. Set your watches. Ooh, so we have a tie between Christian Mansell and Sebastian Montoya. Well, it's runoff time then. Runoff voting. Runoff voting kicks in now. Let's do a new poll. We are going with some old school names. It's either going to be Montoya or it's going to be Mansell. 5-minute poll up now. Get your votes in. Drop the vote. No, we're going with the adapted DeHont method of voting here. Voting nerd jokes, everyone. Juan Pablo really missed a trick not calling his kid Montoya. Indeed. Indeed. Right. So we have 6.5 million left in the cap. Is this our last ATR period? Period 5 ends in October. Which means we've got a November period. I assume. Yeah. Right, we have 2 periods of ATR left. Theoretically, they have now fixed research as well, so we should actually boost some research in key areas. So, if we look at where the regs changes are actually hitting, it's on downforce on the front wing, downforce on the rear wing. Basically, downforce is where we're really going to get hit. $6.5. Right, get your spreadsheets out, chat. So what we've got left in the bank, we're going to have another 4.5 hours. So I think we go big on this one. And then because that's going to cost us $1.3 of our caps. Let's say we're going to have 5 million left after that to play with. With 5 million is going to get us an underfloor, a front wing, and a rear wing. Just. So I reckon we burn all of that on suspension. And it all goes into I mean, Jesus, it doesn't make a lot of improvement. This is the problem, is we need a great reset. Like, can we even get more out? We can get a tiny bit more out of that. Right, we're going that. And then our last bits of research will be underfloor, front wing and rear wing again. Probably. At least we're actually getting accurate fucking predictions on the cost cap again. That was the biggest thing that annoyed me about that last patch breaking. It's like, everyone moans about the cost cap, like, on Reddit about this game, and the cost cap's freaking brilliant. Right. So we're not doing any more research until what's the cheapest thing we can research? Do you reckon we could get in a chassis if we skimped on some other stuff? Like, if we gave some engineers an early holiday, because we're only in October, we're going to save 2 months worth of costs. If we half our engineers, that's going to save us, what? Not enough though, is it? Two salary bursts, we'd save ourselves 132. Plus we might have to build a few parts. No, we're not doing it. Can we fire scouts? We can, but we don't pay a lot for scouts. Scouts are cheap. Right, scouts just don't cost us anything, so it's not worth it. Boo to fire and rehire. We give them nice payments to leave. Right, poll is over. Montoya. Let's see if Montoya wants to come on board then. Winning for reserve. Start at the end of this season, and we're going to want you for 3 seasons from. We'll go for 4. Need an option to unionize the in-game people. What's he earning at the moment? 1.6. Happy to offer him double that. So you start at the end of the season. 4 seasons. You can have 100 grand. And we'll pay you 3.5 million. We got him. I hope you're happy with your choices, chat. Now we are low on suspension. We only got 5 races left and underfloor. How are we looking? Underfloor 66. She may need one. He's definitely going to need one. Suspension 100. Suspension 59. I think we build an underfloor. Give me one underfloor. He doesn't look as happy as Fittipaldi. Fittipaldi was just cheerful. I like to imagine he just walked around the paddock bringing all of us cakes. Sorry to say we can say about team's recent performance. It was one race. Fuck you. Fittipaldi got really into test cricket over the year. Yeah, definitely. He was an absolute vibe sire. Totally a vibe sire. He was just so smiley. How could you not hire him? He was so smiley. Right, Bahrain. Let's see if we can do better. Right, finish position. What's left on that qualifying? Let's see. There's only one left on that qualifying. Let's do a 2. Now let's do a 3. Reach 2, yeah, blah blah blah. 4th, that's fine. Race targets, finish position 4th, that's fine. Facilities, all good. Good. All good. My strategy is to not run out of fuel at the next race. Exactly. Mistakes were made. I think we're all good. I mean, look. We're comfortably still going to win this. It's just cost us any chance of getting the constructor, that's all. Look, 99% of that race was brilliant. It was. It was very brilliant. Just the last 200 meters weren't great. Toyota in 2016. Yeah, of course.
Welcome to Bahrain, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to Bahrain, everyone. Okay, car parts. On to your practice parts. Now the thing is, we're not going to be able to buy any new parts for anyone, so we do need to be a bit careful here. Which means she is going to be on finishing the season on a shocking engine, but shocking gearbox, but should be all right, hopefully. Essentially, we're going to drop down the grid in that from now on. I think we will stop winning races, but that's fine. Lando's far enough ahead that we're going to win, and we're far enough ahead in the drivers, in the manufacturers, we won't drop out of it, so it should be all right. We want 20. We want low. We want low. We want 20. And where are we? Bahrain? So Bahrain, we're looking at 4.5. 11. 6.4. 3.35. 0.35. Uh, 4.5. 11. 6.4. 3.35. 0.35. Double check that. Yep. RERS is now an unhappy hamster. Some of them are, yes. Is there a risk you get fired the season we get rid of Lando? Maybe. Maybe. But that'll add to the chance. We won't do it. It's possible that after all of this, we may reach a point where we just go, we can't do this with Sophia. Like, it is still possible that we will have invested probably that by that point 100 hours in trying to win this with Sophia in vanilla and basically proved you can't do it.
As best you can.
Yep.
But at least we'll know. At least we'll have tried. Is there an equal risk that something happens to the database behind the save to keep us alive? No, I wouldn't do it. The thing is, if we don't manage to do this with Sophia, what we will do is we'll just do another run, but we'll use the W mod. And that'll be a bit more chill and a bit different. Like, if we, you know, as these streams and, you know, these YouTube videos, if you're watching on YouTube, will show, this is a clean run to see if you can legitimately win the title without using weird game gimmicks as Flourish. And I don't think anyone could run it better than we've run it in terms of when we've got the upgrades in, when we managed to hire her. Maybe you could now, because can't you recruit her from the beginning now, whereas we had to wait 2 years? So, but even then, I mean, we've not seen that demonstrable of much of an increase. You're still only going to be running her as reserve driver. So she's not going to increase that much better than she would elsewhere.
How are you feeling?
It's all good. It's a cool car to drive.
Understood.
Right, let's get him in and see. Like, if this run ends in failure, I will not be unhappy, stroke frustrated. That's fine. We'll take that. So I think with Norris, we are at single practice point. We were getting 5 to 6 points per season when she was reserved in every race. True. 89. No, we're going to change it up. Right, Sophie, you are on. What's that? Great. Good. Optimal. Good. Optimal. So we dropped to a 4. 11. 7, 3. 10. Run to the end. Might help us out as more reserve points, but also have worse facilities if we're doing it again with McLaren. Yeah, I mean, maybe you could get, if there's a manufacturer that starts with better facilities, maybe. But we went big on training relatively quickly.
Is everything okay with the car?
So maybe.
Yeah, leave that with us.
But I wouldn't be inclined to try it again. Like, I've really enjoyed this run and what we're doing here, but let's be honest, there's a lot of dead races you're not seeing where I'm having to play off stream to just get through seasons. And one thing I am noticing is the game isn't designed really for you to play it this long. Like, there needs to be facilities resets in my mind. So essentially what you need is you have in Football Manager, where every now and again you get a message at the end of the season that says, oh, due to changes in whatever, our facilities have been downgraded by a rating. So essentially what you do is you go, right, well, that's downgraded your wind tunnel by, everyone's wind tunnel by 1 level. You know, or everyone's simulator by 1 level, or whatever else. So that, because at the moment we're about to basically max out all of our facilities. And at that point it's like, well, what do you do with your money? So I'm hoping they do a 24. I know 23 didn't sell well. And I know Frontier's
Your thoughts are?
making a loss, but I can't see them knocking out of the franchise after just 2 years. And I think they are so close to having a really genuinely good game. Like, this is a good game, but it's close to being an excellent game. From how to get runs gone pro, so I feel like you're doing the best reasonably possible in a single run. Running it 10 times might work with good timing down rounds for the research, but it come down to luck at that point. Yeah, I think the other problem is there's an element of RNG to this due to the way that it does driver improvements now. So if you think back to her 87 adaptability rating, so if some of those points go in something else, she gets a bigger impact. And last year you did have the ability to set where points were going specifically. This year you don't. And I don't mind that, but I'd like a bit more transparency in what influences what. Like, how much boost is she getting from running in these training sessions? Is it worth us running her in training 3s more than we're running her in training 3s? There's no transparency in whether that's having an impact on her training. Like, I assume it is, but is it? Is it only first practice that counts towards that? Because only first practice counts for a reserve driver. Makes training have more of a loot box dynamic, which is not great. Yeah, I mean, it's a constricted loot box mechanic, because you can pick areas of focus. But even within areas of focus, that you should have the ability to go, I am hyper-focused on this one thing. Particularly when it's below a certain level. Maybe you should be able to do that to get someone up from, like, say, 65 in a category to 75, and then after that you can't hyper focus on it, but just to give you that little bit more control over training early on, because when you're trying to bring up a driver up from so far back, it just gets really hard. Car setup 81, so we do want to vary that again. So she has got optimal, good, optimal, good, optimal. So we want to go up to 55, 350, and 065. Run plan is full session. We just want to get him over. And how we're looking on car parts. Yeah. I'd like him to be at 90 prep. Should do that in 35 laps. Without even the basic information of knowing whether keeping them in reserve trains them faster than an active driver, it looks really painful. That's the thing. It's like I have no benefit, no way of knowing whether us putting Sophia into reserve with us, with good training facilities, was better for her than leaving her driving in F3. Now, what it did give us is the ability to do focuses, which is innate useful. But just one of the flaws I do think with this game is it does lack some key feedback, user feedback. And I think part of that is because it does lean into a kind of console-friendly design. Which, you know, fair enough. But just give me more ways to get feedback. Right, I'm going to go get a wine refill while they're going around the track. So, pit crew, can you just keep an eye out, please?
Balance check. Right, I have wine. But I do think and hope that they do 24, and I do think the things that would make a bigger difference than they realise is adding either more of a promotion, an optional promotion relegation mechanic, and adding F2 and F3 to the game. Like, that would make this a next level game. And similarly, I think just some of the little tweaks around improvements, everything else, bit more around engines. Just take some of those things that, for example, made Motorsport Manager really good. Would just really, really help here. Because I think one of their issues is a lot of people stop streaming it because really, like, once you've won the championship with your favourite driver a couple of times, or of your favourite team a couple of times, what more are you going to get out of it unless you're doing a challenge like this? Whereas if you add those promotion relegation mechanics as an optional thing people can turn on, suddenly you've got streamers going, right, I'm going to take Jaguar from F3 all the way up to F1. You know, that would make a difference. Y-axis in the weather centre would be a life-changing thing for me. But also custom team mode. Like, and yeah, make the stats of the various engines go up and randomly a couple. Yeah, like, just add variations to the engine things. Like, because in F1, sometimes some engines are good, sometimes some are bad.
Right, we can call you in. I suspect we can call her in, but we'll let her get to 50. An FIA manager would be cool, expand the driver pool. Yeah, exactly. Now, and I appreciate that's a bigger challenge, but I think they've really got, whilst it has its quirks, I do think they've kind of got the engine down fine now, and just expand it out. Also a My Team mode, customized teams. Like, let me redo Lotus, let me redo Leighton House. Like, the only thing you've got to add to be able to do that is a new set of voice recordings that don't specifically mention the team name. So you get the commentator to go, oh, the team will be happy with that one. Not, oh, McLaren will be happy with that one. Like, just give... Then you've got, like, people like me going, right, I want to rebuild Lotus. We're going to do a Lotus run. Or you'll have Cringer doing his Holy Rollers run. And, like, we'll start in F3 and we'll go all the way through. Like, then you're getting that replayability and you're getting people still watching it. Tolman rebuild, yeah, like... Hey, look, Leighton House. Leighton House is what I will do. I will do a Leighton House run. Would a Lotus run not start with a renaming without renaming Alpine? Well, yeah, I mean, like, you probably want to do it so that, like, essentially you could call it team rebrand mode or team takeover mode if you want. Like, do it so that it's essentially, you have to, obviously you're gonna have to knock one team out to come in. I would absolutely do a Tyrrell run. Totally would do a Tyrrell run. Team Canada, which is, this is the thing, is the moment you start doing that, you give people, you give the game replayability. And if you give the game replayability, then A, you keep people sticky to it, which is good numbers, which does well, and it encourages people to buy it going forward. But you keep streamers playing it, and the more streamers are playing it, the more people are going, oh shit, my favourite streamer is playing that game. Oh, that game's on sale, I'm going to buy it. Make Six Wheels great again. The thing is, Six Wheels was great originally. It's they banned it because it was too good. Send Haas back to IndyCar, yeah. Right, do we do P3? See, this is the thing. I do not know whether sending her out in P3 is going to yield me any benefits. And I don't think we can really do it because we're now very tight on engine wear. Historic mode would be pretty cool. Right, so you know what my idea for that is? Set it so that after 5 seasons you get random you can set, and you can turn it on or off. You get a chance at legendary regens. Like, do it like FIFA or now EA Football does. So you turn around and go, actually, you can turn on legendary regens, and maybe like in X year, there's a chance that you will get a regen driver that is Nigel Mansell. Or you'll get a regen, you know, and okay, you're going to have rights issues and you're going to negotiate that then and do all that kind of thing, but I'm sure the fucking FIA have some of that in. Let people do custom drivers. Yeah, Senna, Prost, Lauda, give it more. The other thing they've failed with this is not making it fully moddable. Motorsport Manager still sells and does well because it's moddable. So where the games stopped, where they've stopped doing dev, the mod community's taken over. So you get Fire mod and all of that kind of stuff. And then yes, someone is going to come along and mod in an entire old school driver setup, and then bosh, more people are buying the game. The game is missing a lot of customization. Yeah, I think that's it, and that's why I hope they stick with it, because they've got the basic basis of a really good game here. Like, they just need to stick with it, and they could have a legendary management sim. Right, I think we're gonna put them both out for a few laps. We'll give her 30. Again, because I don't know whether this is influencing her training, but I hope it is. He's gonna basically duck out and come straight back in again. But I think that the difficulty, so you say like, I would also think in change to historic rule sets, like allowing in-race refueling, single tyre running, etc. Motorsport Manager did a bit of that. But the thing is, Motorsport Manager could get away with it because it doesn't have to do all the graphics for it. If you do that in this, you're going to have to do graphics for it. But at least do things like have a tick box for randomized race orders each season. You know, you shouldn't have to use a database mod to do that. Need to return to getting Lola through F2. Yeah, see? No, let me do wait, let me do a Benetton revival. Let me revive Benetton. No, you know what? You know what we're going to do if there's a custom team mode next year? We are 100% doing an Andrea Moda run. There's one for the old people among you. We are going to do an Andrea Moda F1 run. If there's a custom team option. The only Formula 1 team owner to literally get arrested in the pit lane. What else would we do? We do a... Who would the Moneytron weird ass Belgian team owner one again? Is that Onyx? Something like that. It was a really cool name. I think it was Onyx. We do an Onyx run. Does the plan include sabotaging number 2 as much as literally possible? But that's it. You know, we can you know, do a bit of that. Which, considering Bernie Eccleston exists, is quite a feat indeed. I think we are going to have to call her in now because we do need this engine to not die for a few more races. It should be alright. She is at 100 for everything. Let's call her in. Again, just give me some feedback whether I've ruined her training by doing that. So yeah, I think a lot of people talk this game down, and a lot of people are talking shit, frankly. And they're just jumping on a bandwagon of talking this game down. But I do think there are some valid improvements they could make to increase its longevity for getting people to pick it up and keep streaming it and do cool things with it and play it again. And that's what they're missing. Is right now it's a game that you play, a lot of people play once, twice, and then go, well, I didn't get value out of that. I did a couple of runs. Feels like the game is focused on the race experience so far, while the non-race stuff is more of an adjunct. Yeah, that's it. And like they've added the thing this year, a really good example of that is adding all of those things where you can redo different races from within the season. It's like, I don't care. Given the ability to do interesting seasons, it's annoyingly close to great. It is. Like, theoretically, Frontier have the license for another 2 years. But it has been a money loss for them, and they're not required to make another 2 years worth of games. They're only required to release ones if certain financial targets are met. I bet you they didn't meet the financial target for it this year. So it's going to come down to whether they hold their nerve and really do some improvement bits. I might do a video when we finish our runs and everything else, just going, here's the things I think would turn this from a good game to a great game. Which obviously they will not listen to, and they are already well into dev, but I just feel they do need to be said. A lot of games I love get mediocre reviews from the mainstream herd, critics and Steam reviews. I honestly completely agree. I think there's such a herd mentality in reviews these days. I think, to be fair, like sites like PC Gamer and things like that are less prone to it. But certainly like Metacritic and all this shit. If someone says a game's bad, everyone else wants to say it's bad. And yeah, welcome, Sundog. And Steam reviews are just trash. Like, I was watching Cringer play Pharaoh Total War earlier, and there was someone in chat banging on about, like, oh, this game's just a reskin, it's rubbish. And Cringer's like, how could you know that? You haven't played it. He's like, I'm playing it, I'm enjoying it. How could you possibly know that this game is trash? Some people just, they want to have the opinion and they want to be the one with the opinion. It's like, oh, fuck off. Online reviews of almost anything are horrible these days. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Welcome to qualifying.
Right. Let's get some qualifying parts on, shall we? I think it's fair to say that however this race ends, it will end better than the last race. Or am I cursing us by saying that? He is going to be on a trash engine by the end of this season. Too many reviews seem to be really polar and either fall into greatest or worst game ever. Exactly. It's like, because if your review says this is a decent game, no one is sharing that review online. If your review says this is the best game ever, everyone's sharing it, whether they agree or hate it. If you say this is the worst game ever, everyone's sharing your review, whether you agree or hate it. It's click farming. It's all click farming. It's honestly why I like streaming, is because you can just watch someone play the game and go, actually, this game looks like a thing I would enjoy. And I do think that's where they've gone wrong with this, is not giving the ability to do things like I'm doing now, like to find challenges to do, so that you can kind of go, if I'm playing it, you guys and gals have a chance to look at it and watch it and go, yeah, that looks like a thing I want to play, like Rope Trick just says. You know, you bought this based off of my streams. Exactly, like, yeah, or not. 'Cause sometimes you watch a game, like there are loads of games I watch and go, I'm not buying this. And that's really nice for me. There's some like big kind of like story games, like a lot of first person shooters and stuff. I'm too fucking old for that. I'm 43 years old. I'm not playing shooters anymore, or very rarely am I playing shooters. So it's like, but I like the idea of story in some of them, so I will watch someone else play that. I won't watch someone play Baldur's Gate 3 because I want to play that at some point and I don't want to be spoiled. I won't watch someone play Starfield because I'm playing that at the moment and I don't want to be spoiled. You know, that's the way it goes. Right, I think we're almost ready to come out. Let's go now. I think we go now. I think we timed that okay. Oh, not great. No, not great.
Currently P1.
We might have time to get Flo out again, though.
Okay, cool the tyres and we will box this.
Oh, she might be alright. She might be alright.
Confirm.
We've got time to get her out again on those tyres, though. For me, even asking a streamer what they think of the game tends to get a better impression of how good a game is. Depends on the streamer, but I think it does. If you find a streamer who plays the kind of games you like playing, if they are clearly enjoying playing that game, then you are probably going to enjoy playing that game, regardless of what its reviews were like or whatever else. She didn't improve. She's going out. That's annoying. Stray was brilliant to watch. Stray was really nice. She got unlucky there at when she hit traffic, and the problem she's got is she hasn't got the stats to recover from traffic in the same way as Norris does. This is the problem we have with her at the moment, is she either finishes like 14th or she finishes 6th. Watching streams is also great for the games where you might like the idea of playing the games more than playing the actual game. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Right, so he goes on to his useds. Q2. I haven't checked the weather, but it's Bahrain, so I'm assuming I don't need to check the weather. What's that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right, watch Sonoda. Right, Sonoda's on his fast lap. He's halfway around on his slow lap. We're coming out. Slow lap. Out. Right, we're going to get a tiny bit of traffic. We might be alright. That'll do.
Currently P1.
Y-axis also doesn't tell you how much sand is on the track, true. But it's also that stream is going to give a more full impression of what they think typically. Like if they say they don't enjoy it because of X, and I can determine if X is something I care about. Yeah, I mean, that's it. You can ask questions and say, what do you like about this game? What don't you like about this game? What is the good bits? What is the bad bits? He should be on fresh. Let's just double check. Yeah, he's on fresh. Right. Good grip and good rubber. We might as well just go in now. We get a good clear run on this. Not the clearest of runs, but...
That's P1 for the moment.
We might get a second lap in. We'll go for a second run on that. There's no harm in it. Not like we're going to use the tyres again. I just don't have the mental energy to do much gaming these days. So watching other people game something, but I watch people game in the same way as other people watch people play TV, watch TV. What other people watch TV. I've never got people who go, I don't get why you're watching a game, someone play a game. Like you watch someone fucking act in a TV show. How's that different? I'm not turning around to you and go, I don't get why you're not acting. Right? That's my normal response to people when they say, I don't get how you can enjoy watching someone play a computer game. My normal response is to go, I don't get how you can watch someone acting when you could be acting yourself. Right? It's the same thing. You watch football, they're playing a game, and they're exactly. Like, I know streaming this is never going to get me, like, 200 fucking viewers. It's fine. I enjoy playing it. I don't need to. I make my money doing other things. Do this for fun, and for the fun I have with you, chat. Yeah, I'm not saying I don't enjoy it when you subscribe and do everything else, and the more viewers I have, the more likely people are to actually give me free keys for games and things like that, and that's always nice. But you know, I do this because I wouldn't be sticking this amount of hours into F1 Manager if I didn't enjoy it. Why watch Pornhub when you can do it? Well, exactly. What exactly? Relies on you having a winning partner, though. Don't necessarily have that problem with acting. Maybe you do with acting. Don't have it with gaming unless you're playing multiplayer. And people on your travels will buy you a beer. Exactly. I do it for the beer. Like, how many hours have I put into... Remembering that this is literally the only run we've done since I picked up this game, when it came out. Just have a quick look on Steam. How many hours have I put into this? Okay, we are 264 hours into trying to get Sophia to win a World Championship. And it is entirely possible we are not going to manage it before we fail. And we're probably going to need at least another 200 hours to try and finish it. So we are going to almost certainly put at least 400 hours into something that we might fuck up at. Like, and then people go, it's a rubbish game. Dude, if I put 400 hours into one run, it is not a rubbish game. Right. Strategies. Soft, medium, soft. You can go soft, medium, soft. Little puppy, thank you for the follow. Weirdly, that hasn't shown up in my activity feed. I think both of them are going to have to do soft, medium, soft. Sophia. Do we go medium, soft, soft? Because she's going to be stuck in traffic early on, but she's going to be dealing with backmarkers who she should theoretically be able to pass anyway. So I think it'd be a waste of softs to have her out on softs at the beginning. A couple of questions about the transition from Season 1 to Season 2. Ask away. More than happy to answer questions. Let's go medium, soft, soft. And welcome to the stream. I think we're going to overfuel her and go, well, because if she can absolutely go aggressive early on as well. If we go, yeah, I think that's what we're going with. Right, I will say we will slightly cheese this if I want them to both finish. Unless we get to like right at the end of the race and someone crashes, but if one of them crashes in like the first 5 laps, I probably will reload this. Because otherwise we just for stream enjoyment purposes, you're going to want to watch people race.
Here in Sakir, the floodlights are on, and it's nearly time for 57 laps around the Bahrain International Circuit.
Just notice the rules in the bottom right say notes you have to use at least one compound.
They've got a fantastic...
You say one compound? Should say 2.
With the Bahrain Grand Prix.
They claim they finally fixed the AI doing the entire race on single compounds, which would be nice. That was mildly annoying when it happens. Right. He gets high overtake aggression and battle assist. She gets battle assist. Soph, try not to get murdered back here. Let's watch Soph for a while. At least 1 and 2 dry compounds. Oh, you know, it's not wrong. It's a bit of traffic. Bit of traffic at Bahrain first corner there. Let's get off of this screen, because it is better on the overtakes on that. On the plus side, Norris is gapping Verstappen. What did he start on? They're on the mediums. Okay, so they're doing medium, soft, soft. Okay, you need to drop to aggressive. Stay on the fuel output. So stay on aggressive. No, go down to standard now.
Look at the McLaren driver here. The opportunity's there.
Go on. Good on you,
That
Soph.
sees them move up into 18.
Yeah, we just need to make sure.
Oh, she's just taking out a Haas. Go on. You got him, you got him, you got him. Yes, push him out, Soph. Get him on that sand. It's his own fault. How dare he compete with you?
Let's take a
Fuck you,
closer
Logan.
look. Along the straight here. There's the opening.
That's the kind of aggression I want to see in one of my drivers.
And And up they go to 17.
That's some Ayrton Senna shit right there. Get off this track and get back to IndyCar. You go down to standard.
Just manage the tyres.
Thing is, we aim for an undercut on her. You're right. If she can get into the DRS ranges on, there's a good DRS chain here. She can get into that range, which she should do. There we go. She's in. Oh, she just missed out. She just missed out. Maybe we push her.
Just keep the pressure on. You can do this.
She's dropped out of DRS range on Behrman, which is not helping her. Is it normal to lose so much performance from 5th in constructor to 10th, even though a research for about 30 to 40 million worth? No. But it depends on when you started researching and how you did your research. So it depends on what you spent on research and what you did in terms of committing. She's really struggling back there, isn't she? I think we might need to stop watching her. Putting her under pressure. So if you went 5th in constructor, who are you playing as? Is it McLaren? Is it like us, McLaren? So McLaren strategy that we did early on, and you can see this on my YouTube channel, we did with this, is, right, so there's two things to consider. One is, were you overperforming in 5th? Maybe not if it's 5th. But if you perform over too high, like get a few lucky wins or cheese a few wins, you're going to end up in problems. But it's also about looking at where you're weak in research and channeling your research into what's good, and also channeling it into the stuff that the rules and regs changes are going to be on. So generally speaking, certainly in season 1 with McLaren, I started doing next season research just exclusively the moment the research period opened. Like, I just accepted in first season we were going to be a bit shite and scrape the expectation, the board expectation. But in return, we were going to just absolutely mainline research for the next season. And I think by doing that, we pushed ourselves up to 3rd, wasn't it, chat? In terms of car rankings? Right, we're gaining on Sonoda here, which is good. Build up a nice thing. So we're going to keep running on this. We've got 52% left on the tyres. Did we get 2nd, did we? Nice. The other thing that I really did at McLaren and I didn't regret was sacking Piastri. We sacked Piastri and got Kevin Magnussen in, who was just a much better support driver for Lando. The other thing to remember is engine choice really matters.
Too quickly.
Cool.
So I think when your car parts are not the best car parts, you actually benefit from going for something like the Ferrari or Red Bull engines and just being really good at nursing your engines through practices and everything else. Because it just gives you that acceleration and raw straight line speed, which really helps early on. We did, was it season 4 where we switched to the Mercedes engines because we could get away with it because the car was sufficiently far ahead in all other aspects of aerodynamics and design that it was worth it for us. But yeah, Piastri was just a crash machine. But once we get out of the race, I'll cover a few bits as well. Right, I think we do pit now. Should we pit? Let's pit. We've got 14 seconds. We will come out in 23. We're going to come out in third. Fourth, maybe. Technically still an undercut pit, though. Soph is going to need to pit soon. Oh, everyone else came in. That's good for us. Has this game got any better? I mean, yeah, I'm 260 hours into our first run. I would say it had some flaws at launch, nowhere near as many flaws as everyone made out. Was it a massive upgrade over 22? No, not at launch. Is it a much bigger upgrade over 22 now? Yes. Should you buy it at full price? That's a thing for yourself. Do you enjoy these games? Oh shit, are we back in front? If you really enjoy these games, like I do, yes, it was worth full price to me. Is it worth it the moment you get a sale? Absolutely. Stappen must be on... Oh, is he on softs now, isn't he? So he's probably flying. That's annoying. When do we pull Sophie in? She's got her 2 softs left to run. Let's give her another lap. No, this type of game isn't for me. Yeah, don't buy it then. Enjoy watching people play it. I genuinely enjoy watching people play this, and I used to love it when my stream manager now, Zidan, used to play F1, like the game, because I would never play the F1 where you're the driver. I just don't have the patience or the reactions or the knowledge of actual driving to do it. I'm not a driver. So now I'm considering scrapping my run and go again. There is an alternative, if you want, which is I probably have lurking still got a Season 1 save from my McLaren run. I could stick that up on Discord if I can find it. But at the same time, I did have to do that in F1 22 the first couple of times I played it, as I did have to play the runs again. So I'd be more than happy to, once we finish this race, let's have a quick scroll through the saves, because if I've got a Season 1 McLaren run, if you want, I will put that up on the Discord as a file that people can download, and you can at least see what I did in Season 1. Because you'll be able to see how much I researched in different parts, what I did on that. More invested in this than I am in real F1. Oh, honestly, like, it's very easy to be that way, I think. Right, let's pit her. She's losing pit position now. So she has got 2 sets of softs to go. She's going to massively drop back off of this pit, but whatevs. She'd have benefited from a safety car, basically, and we didn't go on. At least she's on softs for the rest of the race now. We can leave her pushing, to be honest. Right, Verstappen is gaining. So I think we are going to go aggressive. What's the best facility to get upgrading? I think it's, what is it, the CPD, whatever it is. But I will... Once we get out of the race, I will have a look. The thing you get to maximize early on is with McLaren is you're not that high ranked, so you get good ATR stuff. CFD, that's the one. I think CFD is a priority. The other thing to remember is Season 2 you get a full bunch of research and slamming stuff out you can do. Right, Verstappen's dropping back, that's good. We've got this now. We've got this now. So we're both going to be on softs for last stint. We need to go standard because she's now overperforming her tyres. I'm used by accidentally upgrading the continuous professional development rather than computational fluid dynamics. You can tell I used to work in HR departments. Like, given where she started, if she gets top 10, I'd be incredibly happy with that, but I don't think she will. At least it's dev points. I assume a lot of these are going on mediums for the rest of the race. She is coming up to optimal pit stop. Do we want to get on? We want to get him on the softs as soon as possible, don't we? Do we do a couple of attacks? Let's do a couple of attack laps and see if we're still taking time off Verstappen. Because we are still taking time off Verstappen, and we're doing it on old tyres. Right, I reckon we pit soon. Let's get Sophia in this lap. We could pit them both on the same lap, but the way we're driving at the moment, we can run Norris on aggressive for the rest of the race. And he is just absolutely slamming the seconds on. Right, now we go. 15 laps to go. Let's get him in. Let's get him on softs. So we might need to run lean. Someone was asking earlier about the comparisons of Motorsport Manager. As I kind of said earlier, I think Motorsport Manager has... If you could add the graphics on this to Motorsport Manager, you would have the greatest racing game of all time. I think. But actually, as I was saying earlier, they could easily add some of the elements of Motorsport Manager to the next version of this and achieve the same thing. And that is add F2 and F3 and possible promotions, and add car customization or team customization, and add, frankly, what I'd like to see is add a bit more events for your drivers that boost them or don't boost them, give temporary boosts, permanent boosts. Like I remember doing a similar run to this in Motorsport Manager, not on stream, where did everyone pit? Yeah, so she's on her softs now. We'll give her a burst and aggressive, where I had Flursh and someone else in the cars, and they started a relationship, and it gave them a temporary boost, and then they broke up, and that gave them massive negatives, and I ended up having to sell one of my drivers. And I fucking love that. But then Motorsport Manager is much better when you're running the fire mod, because then it gives you the between season changes in engine ability and all of that kind of stuff. So I think sometimes people say, oh well, Motorsport Manager is better, and it's like modded Motorsport Manager is better. Raw Motorsport Manager, not so much. But yeah, like I will always remember the fact that I had to ditch a driver in Motorsport Manager because my drivers had been shagging and then they didn't get on after they stopped shagging.
Oh, that's a good lap. Keep it up.
It's like hashtag real boss problems. Right, I think we can definitely drop him back now though. We should shed that in the time we've got left. I'd like to get past Bearman. And let's see if she can close before we drop it down.
2 secs. There's been a crash.
Safety car and she would be flying. Bonk. Big bonk. No personal relationships in the office track, please. Yeah, it's like, guys, can you stop shagging in the garage? Like, it's just makes the floor sticky. Right, let's drop her down now. She's probably not making up a 16-second gap. Assuming that's the same crash. No. Oh, those Harsters are just taking out everyone, aren't they?
Need to make sure keep these tyres in good nick.
Like, I know there's been a couple of points hits, but she finishes there. That's still better.
We get to the top of the temp window on these tyres.
Yeah, copy.
She just doesn't have the Norris ability to go from like 20th to first. Like, she can generally hold a position, but if she doesn't qualify well, she struggles. Verstappen's 14 seconds behind. Let's just ease off slightly.
Keep on top of the tyres.
Okay.
She is good on tyres again. Just push on tyres. It's fine. Or at least gap Oliver and Behrman. I accept you're probably not going to catch Stroll, but problem is they're all DRSing off of each other. Well, it's not repeat last get race's mistake. And she pulled a gap back. You know, we'll go attack. Like, almost the end of the race. Enjoy yourself. Let loose. Oh, she pulled a place. Oh, go on, go on. Oh, yes, she's got it. Fuck you, Piastri.
Now this was at turn 3. Can they squeeze by?
Narrator, that's not turn 3.
Up to 12th and sniffing at those points places.
I mean, that's not bad. What, she make up 5 places? 6 places? Give her another 3 laps and she'd have made the points. Give her a safety car and she'd have made the points.
We have a checkered flag now.
Lando Norris is the driver who takes this year's title.
There you go, Lando is champion. No one can catch Lando. Lando is champion. We should have a look at Lando's overall stats now. It's the 3rd World Drivers' Championship in a row. Yeah, he is now a 3-time World Drivers' Champion. Right, let's have a quick look here. We might get another race in, you know. So, things I said I was going to look at. Right, save this. So let's see how far I can go back in McLaren saves. McLaren 2024 end of season. So that'd be an extra season in, wouldn't it? I do have a McLaren 7th of the 8th. So that would be after I've started doing the research, pushing heavily on research. But yeah, looks like the earliest end of season one I've got. Oh, hang on. That's 12th of 8th, isn't it? Oh no, this is when I saved it, isn't it? So I wonder what that one is. Right, let's have a look. So Third of November. There you go. 3rd of November. So that would be a one where we're on 2 races to go. 2 races to go. Pushed on research early on. I will stick that save up onto the Discord when I finish streaming tonight. So if anyone wants a almost end of first season McLaren save, I will put it up there. So all you've got to do is paste that into your save folder and then you can load it. So I can't remember who was asking. I think it was Elsa EC? Maybe not. Whoever was asking, if you want a save that is a reasonably well-built McLaren team about to end a season, and you'll have a big improvement, I will stick that on the Discord channel. It'll be in the F1- campaign chat, and it'll go up there about 8:30 this evening. In terms of research and general tips, though, what you want to be doing is going here. You want to go to rules and regulations. You want to have a look at what your regulations are going to affect, and you want to encourage and do lots of research in those categories if you are already decent. If you are massively behind in other things, don't be afraid to customize your research around them. Also, don't rush parts. Like, you just end up spending so much of your cost cap on rushed parts. It's like, just don't do it. Slightly worried that we're going to run out of car parts, but we'll see. We'll have something we can fit. You don't have the game. Someone was definitely asking. That's all I remember. Driver champion has gone to the mystery man that is Mackenzie Cresswell. He still doesn't have a photo. MP Motorsport won it. Or are winning it. Yeah, they've won it at this point. He could theoretically lose, I think. Gonna be close. So when's our new ATR? 29th of October. We are in Qatar. Performance targets. Yep, all of those are fine. One driver getting through all of those things. Give me a finish position above 4th. Finish position streak of 1. A qualifying. We're not going to do a qualifying. We'll unify them for the last 2. Because how many races have we got left? 4 races left. Cool. So we get through this race, we do a 3 streak for the last one. Good amount of money in the bank. Development facilities are fine. CFD is the one I think has the biggest impact early on. I would then say probably... I'd probably go wind tunnel. What you want to do with your design center is you want to get it up to level 3 at least. Basically, you want to get up to the point where it gives you 15 engineers, because that's a game changer. It's a real genuine game changer. 20 engineers, not so much. Like, we've upgraded it because we can. 15 engineers is a game changer.
Our calendar brings us to the Middle East this weekend for the Qatar Grand Prix.
Right. We are in Qatar. Clear that. Find setup. Oh, that's the other thing. For those unaware, that is the greatest website you will ever need. Allows you to really get rid of the whole... Like, this minigame is great. The whole car setup minigame is great if you're only going to play one season. If you're playing as many seasons as we are, it gets very tiring very fast. So it's nice being able to just look up and go, these are the things that I will set, and then we will put feedback in when we get it, and it will give us some new numbers, and it will work out. Which, let's be honest, is how the teams would actually be doing it. Let's get down to that. Car parts, let's get her onto our practice parts. Yeah, we'll get another race out of that, that's nice. Practice parts. Practice parts. Gearbox is going to last, so that's good. We only lost 5% wear on that last race. So unless she absolutely stacks it, which might be a reload, then we'll be alright. He goes on to his practice parts. He needs car setup. His car setup will be the same to start with. So it's 8, 13, 7.3, 3.35, 9, 9, 9. Driver options are good. Save. Save. Resume practice. Go. Haven't got a T-ad yet. Have you stopped? I basically have been forgetting to do them. But I still get all the T stuff. But yeah, I've just... Because I had a thing that did them on a timer. And it's fallen off doing them on a timer. Also, Twitch have changed their rules on what you're allowed to advertise and how you're allowed to advertise it. And the way the rollover ad appears now can theoretically break Twitch rules. So really what I need to be doing more often is saying that you should all be drinking tea, and you have a link to buy tea in the chat. And go buy tea, because when you buy tea it benefits me. I literally did an order earlier. I got some smoky Russian. Really nice. Really good Lapsang Souchong. And also, you know, in the current political environment, I like to think of it as calling it smoky Russian tanks. Which is nice. So I need to rethink how I do tea ads, basically. But also there's an element of going, they send me free tea anyway, you guys buy it occasionally and it gives me a little bit of money. Do I really want to disrupt the streams more just to push it even more? It's like, yeah.
Something's happening.
Yeah, don't worry, Lando. It's your practice parts. It's fine. It's your practice parts, Lando. It's fine. Right, let's see what we get. It's got a grate. Let's put them in. Let's have a look what that means.
Okay, understood.
So, you're a great. Let's see what that means. 87. My general rule is if it's 90 or above, I'll leave it. If it's anything under 90, they're going to be in enough practices to make it worthwhile to sort out. So that's what we're going to do. So he is on. We want a great, a good, a great, great, and an optimal. Which means it suggests we go to 325 and we go down to 50. So what I do now for those unfamiliar is I send him out for the rest of the session. It's not going to take us more than 3 goes to get this right, generally. So there's no point calling him back in again before the end of the session on these settings, because the way that track awareness builds is that the longer they're out, the quicker they build it. So we're better off leaving him out for the whole session after this. Same with Soph. And then changing the settings between sessions, because there's no time penalty to us for changing the settings between sessions. And run for as many laps as you can do. Out you go. Out you go. So we're going to do P1 and P2 for them. P3 probably sends Soph out for a bit, not Lando, because he's not going to need it. I have a sandstorm or something, or is the view all this hazy? No, I think this is genuinely a sandstorm. Flosh. I think she really struggles with knowing that you lot are watching. I think that's what it is. She's much better when you lot aren't watching. You apply a lot of pressure to her, chat. You put a lot of expectation on her, basically. And I think she does struggle with that a bit.
How's the balance?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we didn't set our avoid curbs settings. That's annoying. We'll have rinsed the engines.
Profit.
Yeah, it could be worse. That'd be alright.
And avoid all curbs. Avoid all curbs. Yeah, probably.
It's early evening for the practice, might be why it's hazier. Yeah, that's probably what it is. They're going with like early evening feel.
Stand by.
Give us a balance check when you can. Balance check.
So probably need to call her in early if she hits tyre wear early. Curbs. Yeah, so you can set settings to say avoid high-risk curves and driving clean air. And what you're really doing there is saying don't bang the car around as much. It's useful to do if you're trying to really preserve your tyres during a race, but more importantly, you might as well set it in practice. It doesn't really matter how fast they go in practice. There's no point, just let them drive. Crazy Clement!
Thanks for the follow. Crazy, it was you who wanted the save file, wasn't it? So I did find one from November. So I will stick that up on Discord after this. So if you don't want to start entirely again with the McLaren save, you can just load my McLaren save from November. In November in Season 1. Highly recommend you fire Piastri at the end of the season. But you'll be able to see what I upgraded, when I upgraded it, and why. Oh, you're on console? Yeah, no, you'll have to start again then. If you go back on YouTube and watch my early vids, then yeah, you'll see what I did. But genuinely, from the moment you can do research, just start pushing on research. Do one building upgrade in that first season. Switch engines at the end of the season. Go with something like Ferrari. And yeah, really your first season is just about survival. Like, don't push that much on getting a good car. Just get a good enough car that it keeps you in the position you need to be in. And then just really go absolute hammer and tongs on research. I think the other mistake people make with research is they think that the more research they can do, the better. And actually, what you're trying to do is get up to maybe research 3 or research 4 on each part. So just spend your ATR points, work out when your ATR windows are, and research accordingly to get that amount of benefit. Also, if you don't do things like practice engines, do things like practice engines.
Okay, that's the checkered flag.
So what you'll be noticing I do here is I flip them onto bad parts for practice, because there's no reason not to flip them onto bad parts for practice. There's no penalty for doing so. 89 and 91, so I mean we might as well change both because we've got a free hit on changing them. Do practice engine to go save more money? Yeah, like it's the best thing you can do. Do practice engines, set your avoid high curbs and all of that kind of thing. And use your F1 Manager IT for setup things. So she is great, optimal, good, great, optimal. 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So according to this, we go 335 and we go 095. And then for him, normally I'd leave it on 91, because we've already done 2 bursts of his stats. We should actually be able to get it right. So he is a great 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. And there's no time penalty for us changing it now, so we drop that to a 7.5. 13, 8.2, 3.2, and a 4.5. We will run them for the whole session, because this is the last stat change we're going to do. And remember, running them for the full session gives us benefits. Go out there and do your thing, drivers. Go, go, go. So these should come back optimal. But this is what I was saying. If you look at the curve on this, you can see that the longer they stay out, the quicker it goes up. It's an exponential curve, whereas parts knowledge is flat. Basically, parts knowledge is a flat gain. You can, as long as it's not affected by when you pit, whereas track knowledge is. So you want long runs. So basically, we will call her in when I've forgotten again. We'll call her in when she hits 30% on tires. Optimal. She should get optimal as well.
Understood.
Optimal's more important for her than it is for him, because it gives her a stat boost. For him, a lot of those stats will disappear because he's already on like 98 or 100 with a bunch of his stats.
A balance check when you can.
She's only on great. Interesting. I'm going to call her in then. Because we do sometimes put her out for practice 3 anyway, so... Oh, come on. So that's what, an optimal, great, a good, and an optimal. So apparently she should be a 6-4, a 3-4-5, and a 1. My reserve driver doesn't get development points anymore in P1. Do you know why? If you're sending them out in P1, and as long as your training center is decent, they should get development points. It's quite... what it's not... The game's not good at is showing you how much experience they're gaining. But the other thing to remember as well is age. So do check their development stat elements. So if it says like less than average development, they're really not going to pick up stats very much anymore. And some drivers from the age of about 25, 26 onwards can just stop picking up stats, I've noticed. We've been quite lucky with Sophia in that she seems to be quite robust in picking up late game stats. Oh shit, I didn't send her back out. That's a fuck up on my part. Let's just pretend she was going for a piss. This is why you shouldn't chat to streamers with ADHD while they're playing games. You should absolutely chat to streamers with ADHD while they're playing games. That's my excuse anyway. But yeah, it's probably a queue. There's a queue for coffee. But yeah, so your reserve driver should pick up stats in P1, but it can be quite slow if their development is average or lower, and if you don't have the stuff that boosts general weekly development. So they may well be still picking up improvements, but their other elements of improvement aren't great, and that means you're not seeing it, because you won't always see just a stat instantly increase after a practice session. Sometimes if it's a particularly important stat, it can be 1 or 2 development sessions before it increases. That's what I've noticed anyway. All of this is observational because no one's actually just done a decent write-up of actually how much stats are gained. I do wish Frontier would do something like that. We should still hit 5 awareness, which is the important thing. There we go, optimal. We're good. Normally I see a +1 experience. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Do you see that, like, it's very marginal? So think of it as you will mostly see +1 experience, but you might be hitting 0.8 or 0.9. And if you're hitting 0.9, it's not going to show it as a stat increase, because it always rounds down, it doesn't round up. So what they might be getting is a 0.8 experience in a particular stat out of that one practice session. And then they'll do, like if they were doing their weekly development via the team simulator, it's building on that stat and they're getting additional development, but they're not getting it in the race, so you're not seeing it. So I guess the question I'd have is, how old is the reserve driver? Sometimes the +1 doesn't appear during the practice, but they're post-rate. 21? Yeah, I mean, I'd say that as long as it's still saying they've got high development rate, they're probably still racking up a 0.8, 0.9 in that practice session. But yeah, you're probably just finding that the team stat beneath it. Oh, it's Solov. Yeah, no, so we've just, we were looking at him for our reserve, but we went Montoya. So I would say as long as he's statting up reasonably over the course of the season, you're fine. Don't stress too much, because it's not like the last game where you could, and I was moaning about this earlier, I don't think they give you enough feedback on how much development benefit you're getting. And I do think they need to look at that for next year. Because, for example, is it worth me sending Sophia out in practice 3? Is she going to stat up? I would think so, but I don't know. And I have no way of knowing, whereas at least last year you got to see XP points ticking up. Which I accept wasn't entirely, like, realistic, but still. I'm going to push her onto a set of softs, because I think we're more likely to need the mediums in the race. So just go out and do some laps on softs for me. Lando can... Yeah, Lando can sacrifice some softs. He's just going to do a lap though, so... So basically, I guess the short answer is I wouldn't stress too much as long as you're still doing up your team simulator. If you're not also upgrading your team simulator, you need to be upgrading your race simulator. You need to be upgrading it. Because to bring a young driver on, as we've been trying to do with Flirsh, because we've been trying to have to maximize development, you want that combo of starting them in practice races and having a maxed out race simulator. Because then they're getting the maximum points they possibly can at every given stage. And just think carefully about when you get them into car 2. I want him to replace Lando in Season 10, so that's why I was wondering if he isn't going to grow anymore. He will absolutely grow. If you missed the beginning of this stream, because we are in season... Chat, what season are we in? I can't remember. You won't even need to wait till Season 10, honestly. Chat, what season are we in? I can't remember. But I will show you... Yeah, we're in 2028, so what's that? 6 years in? 5 years in? I will show you Solov in this save after this race.
Got a car stop on track.
So he was genuinely someone we were considering for our new reserve driver, because he's still in F2 in this. But chat voted for Montoya.
BSC.
But he's good already. So I think he was up to, isn't he an 80 in this now already?
Yeah, copy.
I'm going to get wine while this practice finishes. Our engine shouldn't blow up. Chat, you're in charge. Bring her in if you need to. You know the routine. How are we doing, chat? Did you need to make any changes? So I do think, because obviously I've got some of those earlier saves stashed, is I do think what we will do at some point is go back and do a rebuild Mercedes save. So I think that would be quite fun. And Solop is one of the drivers I'd consider for that. I mean, we could do it at the end of this save or take one of these end of seasons. I'll start taking some fresh end of season saves because it might be fun to do it with all the new crop of drivers.
Let us know about the tyres.
30, so we'll bring her in. But yeah, it's 10 to 8, so we will get one more race in before we end the stream. And then what I'll do is I'll just bring up so you can have a look. Shaq-Hines? Is it Shaq-Hines 03? I need to put my glasses on. But I'll bring it up so you can see what Soloff is like in our save. And obviously he's not made it out of the lower Fs yet. So, like, if you're deving him well, he will eclipse what you will see when I put him up. But I think if you dev him right, you won't need him to replace Lando in Season 10. You'll probably be able to do it in Season 7, 8 if you really want to. But Lando is brilliant. I think Lando is the best driver in the game. We kind of lucked out with that in McLaren. As long as you can dev him up in reasonable ways, you get a really good driver out of him. Right, the P's are over. Let's see if we can qualify better this time. Good confidence. Game. Thank you.
Will practice pay off for the driver?
Right. So good setups. Let's get on to race parts. That engine is nice, but we'll use it if we have to. I might put her onto that ERS. I think we'll have enough left in that ERS to stay our practice one all to the end, but better safe than sorry. Yeah, Lando's engine situation is not good. I mean, the thing is, he's already won the title, so it's not the end of the world. But I don't think he's going to be winning races at the end of the season. Has Lando been in a fight? You know. What happens in Qatar stays in Qatar. Right, count the cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need another group. 9. Give me another group. 10, 11. Right, we're going after Leclerc.
We've got a yellow flag here.
Leclerc's on his fast. Halfway on his slow. Go. Come on, come on. Give me a reasonably clean run. That's a clean run. That's a clean run. Not quite a clean run for Norris, but he's fine with it. Flo got a clean run.
Okay, cool the tyres and we will box this.
Oh, she's slow again, though.
Yeah, confident.
Oh, she's going to go out again. Oh, she got stuck.
So we have a checkered flag now.
She has had no luck. She's had no luck. I blame you, chat. She has performance anxiety in front of you, chat. So Norris, actually I'm going to run him on those. He should be good enough to get through on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Give me a clump. 9, 10, 11. That's Verstappen. Watch Verstappen, chat. Halfway round. Go. Should be an okay run. Yep, clean run.
Okay, that did put you P1 for the moment.
This is where Solov is now. Oh, nice one. Yeah, you just take a screenshot. Good job. Generally speaking, by the way, my method here does hold firm. I know a lot of people moan and they're kind of like, it's really hard to judge when to go out. Watch for about half the drivers to have gone out, then wait for either a reasonable clump or, frankly, for Verstappen to go out, and then wait until he's done his fast lap and is halfway round, or whoever your backmarker driver under that scenario is. Wait until they've completed their fast lap, and wait until they're halfway through their warm down lap, and then send your driver out. And generally speaking, you will either have a clear run or a very minimally obstructed run. What I tend to do on Q3 though, and you see I actually ran on used tyres for that, because then I've got the benefit of lots of softs for the race. I normally do on Q3 is because you're down to 10 cars. If I'm going to YOLO it for one run, which I normally do, and we will do here. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Ocon. Ocon's on his fast. Go now. Almost a clean run. We're gonna, yeah, that's fine. We got him on a straight.
Okay, currently P1.
Just behind Verstappen. That's fine. He's probably on a better engine than us by this point, to be honest.
Lando pit lane.
Oh, interesting. Do you notice who isn't there? Leclerc.
The time has come to...
Yeah, we are on an engine in inverted commas at this point. Okay. Tyres. So the nice thing about hoarding mediums from practice is we can run her on soft, medium, medium. Given she's starting so low down, I think we actually want to run her on medium, medium, soft. Because if there's a... Or do we... Bahrain, early chance for safety car? If we get a safety car early on, we pull her in maybe for softs. Slightly surprised the game lets you use wets. I mean, it theoretically does. You'd be an idiot for doing it, but... So Lando definitely goes soft, soft, medium. And we're going to move that back and that back. Alright, so it's one mandatory compound. So that is slightly different. So a mandatory compound is either a hard, soft, or medium. So if I tried to set up a strategy that was wet into wet, it would be an invalid strategy. Because a mandatory compound without weather interrupting it will include at least one of the basic tyres. So it is legit. We're going to run a heavy. Tell her to burn it. We will let her burn a bit at the start. We'll run him slightly heavy. And go for it. Trouble is, it's a hard track to overtake on. I'd like to see a top 10 finish from her. I think it's doable.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
Battle assist. Overtake aggression high. Just take battle assist. Go. Go on, Nozza. You got the start. You got a good start. First corner goes our way. Yeah. He might have him. He might have him. He's got him. He's got him. Go on, Lando. Go on. In your face, Max. Sophia is terrible. She may well be terrible. When you're trying to win the World Championship with a female driver and there's only one in the game, you kind of have to work on making her not terrible. What overall rating would you advise for Florcia not to be last in every race? She's got 2 podiums for us. She just had a bad day on stream. She's now at a stat level where, generally speaking, she finishes somewhere between 8th and 12th. I don't think we'll be able to win the championship with her unless she's at least an 85. So it's going to come down to whether she caps out lower than 85 in development terms. She can maintain position, but she has problems moving up. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. She's not a top 4 or 5 driver at the moment. She's a consistently top 7 driver. And the other problem is that because we're so many seasons in and we haven't had a big reset yet, the difference between the cars has really evened out. So she's not getting a big boost from the McLarens being that much better than the opposition. We are better than the opposition overall, but not that much better. Come on, get Verstappen. Oh, he got taken by... Oh, Verstappen, man, what are you doing? Decently large reset after what was at Season 3 and ROM 6. Yeah, and we've got a reasonable reset coming. So we've got quite a big reset coming, but not a huge reset. I think one thing they maybe need to do in future versions is increase how frequently the resets happen. Right, we are going to put her back onto standard now, though.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that time.
Copy.
Oh, you've not DRS'd him. DRS him.
Solid pace.
Get out of DRS range, please. I need you to drop him. There we go, you dropped him. It's usually every 5 years. Should have a big rule change the year after next. Yeah, which I'm kind of counting on, to be honest, to help us with our Sophia title challenge. Because we're better at navigating the rules changes than the AI is. So she is dropping back, but I'd assume, well, he's on mediums. Go on, Soph. You got the DRS on him now. There you go. I think if Sophia was 3 years younger, I would be 100% that we can win a world championship with her. But I still come down to the fact that we might well invest 400 hours into this and not win a world championship with her. But at least we will have tried. And I reckon we can at least get one podium with her. Apparently the passing AI being better in the dots also applies to gapping. Yeah, I think it does. Right, Norris is running on red. We will run him down a bit. Run down to -1. Basically, we'll run him to first pit, maybe. We'll run to first pit. I'm actually going to leave him out because he's still extending the gap over Sonoda. Right, he's not pulling the gap on Verstappen. So, pit time. Now, I'll be interested to see what other strategies people are doing here. Up to 7, yeah, but pits doesn't count. She is on the mediums though, so she should be climbing here. Oh, Norris, pit stop issue. What are you doing, man? Don't be doing that. Right, in which case, push. On to neutral.
Yeah, confirm.
Recharge on, please. Recharge
Should be alright, I think. So she is coming up for a pit window. Let's push her on aggressive. She is now on optimal lap. I'm going to leave her on aggressive and I'm going to run her for one more lap. Right, now you're going to pit. Cheers, Z. Right, he's on aggressive. He's running fine. She's bleeding fuel, but we're going to leave the bleeding fuel for a bit. Well, they get down to 0.8. I think she can make that back. Let's go 0.6. Go balanced, go neutral. Right, Verstappen's finally pitted, so Norris is in front. He's got a healthy lead. Let's run him on standard. We might. So remembering that she's going to get onto softs after this. Okay, standard. Right, Verstappen is making time up on Norris. Is he running on softs? He's running on his softs. So he's done medium, soft, medium? There's no way the Red Bulls have got tyres to do double softs. No way.
Hitting Morris on eco. He's fine. If he's 0.4, he's fine. She can actually deploy for a bit. She is into her pit window for softs. Norris is over his pit window. We can do it, chat. Feels like Flursh gets hurt in the places sometimes because she can climb as long as she can stay in DRS range. So she seems to end up at the top of each DRS heap. That's pretty much it. That's what she doesn't have, is she doesn't have the ability to make up places when she doesn't have the DRS boost. She's actually pretty decent at overtaking and defending now. But because her reactions and braking are still quite low, she really struggles to make up time when she doesn't have DRS as a benefit. And that's where the RNG is screwing us, because like if we still had the F1 Manager 2022 version, I'd be able to just be slamming points into her braking now and really bringing that up. But we've just got a bit of RNG about where her points go. But if we can get her up to like 75, 76 in those points, I think then she'll have the benefit that she can generally gain and also benefit from the DRS. But you're absolutely right. If she falls down in DRS terms, she really struggles. Right, Verstappen's in. Norris is coming in. And we're going to go attack on the remainder of this tyre. So let's get you off attack now and go standard. 33 seconds. I think we can get a full pit stop in that, can't we? Is there a training option for braking? Well, you can narrow it down to about 4 stats, so I'll show you after the race. But the problem is that you can't then get more specific than that. Right, she is close to her pit point. Attack. Just get what you can out of it for now. Ah, it wasn't even close. We were fine. Loads of room. Like, he runs to the end now and we've won this. Right, Verstappen's on worse softs than we are. Fine. But Soph is coming in. Very soon. Now. So she's going to come out quite low, but it comes down to whether she can DRS chain it back. She's not come in. Hit. So she'll pick up and she'll struggle from this point. She just can't close it. If she had slightly better stats, she'd be closing that gap quicker. And then she'd be fine. Because
because she's closing it but not fast enough. Whereas if that was a DRS change, she'd be flying up the ranks. Go on, Soph.
Yeah, copy. Temps are climbing. Temps are now climbing.
Problem is we probably outfueled her now, but I just wanted to see how quickly she could climb. She's taken him. Go full attack. You can get points here, Sophie.
And we can drop the lift to coast for now. We'll pick it up later.
Awesome. Race win today. Nice shot.
Good on for the team. Well done, everyone.
Problem is she hasn't got another DRS burst to get him on. You know what, YOLO? Go for it.
Let's go for it.
To be fair, we're probably slightly handicapping her by doing that.
So we
Yeah, she finished slightly behind. But like that's a grid position gain on her qualifying. She gained 3 spots. She just really struggles when she's outside of a DRS range. And that was 3 clean spot gains because there was no crashes or anything in that.
What a remarkable drive.
So let's see how she's statted out after 2 more races. Might actually have got 10th if she'd pitted the lap we meant to. Yeah, and that's the thing with her is if we make one mistake, it screws her more than it screws Lando when we make one mistake, you know? Oh man, are we out of parts? Not many races to go though. That rear wing is not going to last. Anyway, drivers. Someone wanted to have a look at, I know we stuck it in chat, but let's just do it on stream for people who are watching on stream. So by this year in, so we're 6 years in, Soloff is an 81. And at least in my save, those are his stats. So his overtaking is trash. But actually he's pretty good on everything else. His accuracy is excellent. That's just unlucky. Yeah, 1% rear wing. Our rear wing is just basically gaffer tape at this point. In terms of drivers, so she's picked up another point in braking. Don't think she's picked up anything else. I don't think. Let's be real, do you really need the rear wing? You know, yeah, exactly. It's just extra drag.
Post Bahrain stats in the Discord. Have we got any extra gains on everything else? Don't think so. Just a braking boost. So hopefully there's a few that are lurking at sort of 0.8s. Another point in overtaking. Oh, that's useful. It's useful. So that leaves us with 3 races left. But that is probably the point where we're in the stream for this evening. So you may get a bonus stream of this on the weekend. Maybe. Because my wife, I think, is off to Portugal again. She's off to watch the National. So you might get a bonus stream either Friday night or Saturday. You will definitely get some Discord races. So do follow on the Discord. Because obviously we are quite close to the end of the season. So it'd be quite nice to get to the end of the season and just do the season stuff. But we have already picked our reserve driver for next year. So I'm less fussed than I normally am on making sure that the end of the season happens on stream.